An historic day for the Triad and the state, the biggest job commitment ever. The impact can't be overstated.
It's a slam dunk turning point. The inflection point has occurred. So this is no question a huge statement for what this is.
More insight into a transformative day for our region. Plus, a surge of jobs means the cost of living has to change. What's the impact on your wallet?
Heads up, rain, thunder, lightning. We're going to see this continue through much of the overnight. I've got an update on the radar.
Plus, an inside look at a fire that sent someone to the hospital. WFMY News 2 at 11 starts right now. What happens at this future site could change our area forever. A commitment for nearly 15,000 jobs and a promise to revolutionize flight. With a single announcement today, JetZero changed the expectations of the Triad in an historic way. And tonight we are looking at all angles of this giant day, from the biggest changes you should expect to the impact on the cost of living. But first, WFMY News 2's Sydney Moore breaks down what happened at PTI today.
A dance on stage to celebrate Greensboro sealing the deal with California-based aviation company JetZero at Piedmont International Airport.
Could have gone anywhere in the world, but they chose North Carolina.
You will not be disappointed, and you are going to have so much Southern hospitality.
Big jets? Yes. Big dreams? Bigger. Big money? Oh yes, try $4.7 billion into Guilford County by 2036.
When you get a project of this magnitude, that a number of speakers said will change people's lives and change this region and this state for many years to come, you can't help but be, incredibly excited.
The company is bringing in nearly 15,000 jobs at an average salary of around $89,000. Brent Christensen with the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce says it took a long process to bring in a company as big as JetZero.
Well over a year, a lot of partners from local officials, state officials, federal officials, colleges and universities, North Carolina A&T State University, Guilford Technical Community College.
And the list goes on. Greensboro was a top finalist before the deal was sealed. The company required a 10,000-foot runway and the availability for infrastructure. JetZero's CEO Tom O'Leary says with our state's manufacturing history, PTI ended up being the perfect place.
North Carolina's legacy in fabrics and textile innovation laid the groundwork for driving advanced material science, making it a natural home for the all-composite, which is essentially fabric, JetZero aircraft.
So get ready and buckle your seatbelts. Construction takes off soon with its first round of new hires by 2027.
It is almost hard to fathom what 15,000 jobs looks like or the impact it have on our area. WFMY News 2's Joseph Leonard asked experts what we could expect in the months and years ahead.
Yeah, you won't see any heavy machinery for a while, but you could soon feel the impacts of this project in your everyday life, from the jobs it creates to the roads you drive to the places that you eat and the homes that are built around you. Leaders say this isn't just big for business, it's a major shift for the entire Triad.
This is one of the biggest projects that we'll have, that will be announced in this entire country because of the capability for this to be a watershed moment in air travel. So it's not about just one company, it is about a change in the paradigm that air travel.
With the promise of nearly 15,000 jobs from JetZero, the impacts are far-reaching, according to North Carolina A&T Chancellor James Martin. He says we should expect to see growth in housing, roads, schools, and restaurants. The infrastructure around us will grow too.
First of all, you're talking about a new economic base that will increase, so it has impacts from housing to safety, for education, for technology. So we'll see new members moving here. People got to eat, they got to go somewhere, have a place to live, they got to get around. So it is a bottom-up enriching of this whole region.
Governor Josh Stein estimates this development could grow the state's economy by $250 billion. And for economic developers, it's a signal to the rest of the country the Triad is ready for more.
Our aviation manufacturers and suppliers are way significantly beyond the grounds of the airport. There's a whole ecosystem of suppliers that have built up around what we have now, and this will just fuel that growth even more.
Mike Fox with the Piedmont Triad Partnership says this also creates new opportunities for students who might not have considered aviation before, but will now have high-paying options close to home.
It's definitely, without question, a transformational project. This project will impact people who aren't born yet. You know, this is generational. There will be jobs for people that have grandchildren that haven't even moved here yet. So it's definitely that. But I wouldn't say that it's a turning point or a start. I would say it's a continuation of the momentum that we've been building.
Chancellor Martin says North Carolina A&T is already laying the groundwork with a new aerospace and aeronautics engineering program designed to be a direct pipeline for students ready to take flight.
Joseph, thank you. It is obviously a major boost for our local economy, but it also raises a key question. How will this impact the cost of living? A pair of local economists told WFMY News 2's Amber Lake families could feel some growing pains first.
It is estimated to lift our state's economy by $250 billion.
From grocery aisles to rent prices, if you're wondering how JetZero's move to Greensboro might impact your wallet, you're not alone.
So obviously with increases in demand, we will see increases in price.
JetZero is expected to bring 15,000 high-paying jobs to Guilford County. We're talking average wages close to $90,000 a year, and economists say that money won't just stay in people's pockets.
I go spend that locally here in Greensboro, increasing the revenues and the income of other Greensboroians or Guilford Countyans, right? So the income grows multiplicatively, and then they go spend it, and it becomes income for others.
But with a big economic boom comes some big growing pains. More people means more pressure on housing, wages, and yes, even your grocery bill.
With these high-skilled workers making good money, that's going to put some pressure on houses, that's going to put some pressure on wages, and some people are unfortunately going to be priced out.
It's a challenge leaders will need to plan for, and fast. Just this year, Guilford County Schools shut down 4 elementary schools due to low enrollment, but that could turn around quickly.
We're going to coordinate with other city stakeholders and, of course, with higher institutions like ours to try to coordinate the better ways to prevent a crisis of housing affordability.
So when will you feel it? Expect to see jobs and spending pop up very soon, but experts say it could take 5 to 10 years to feel the full economic wave.
The benefit they're bringing to us locally is so massive.
The bottom line, JetZero could transform the triad, but making sure that transformation lifts everyone starts now. In Greensboro, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.
We have mentioned a few times today that the announcement is the biggest job commitment in state history. The competition doesn't even come close. The next closest to JetZero is a Vietnamese company called VinFast. It pledged half as many jobs in Chatham County. Toyota comes in third. As we've reported, the car maker plans to hire 5,100 workers at the Greensboro Randolph megasite. Attracting a project of this size does not come cheap. State, county, and city leaders all approved incentives packages today to help land JetZero. The biggest investment comes from the state, $1.5 billion. County commissioners approved $75 million, and the city signed off on nearly $15 million. Getting a commitment like this is no easy task either. It took countless conversations over a long period of time. PTI's executive director says it understandably took a big load off when they got the green light.
The text said three things, had three words. We are done. We started dancing like that. It was crazy. It was so much fun. But what's really funny is I then told Julie that when we found out about the boom selection, my family and I were on vacation. And Julie said, I think that the bakers need to spend more time outside of the state so that things can get done around here.
He is referencing Boom Supersonic. 3 years ago, the company committed to more than 2,400 jobs at the airport as it tries to usher in a new era of supersonic flight. Now, before workers fill up this plant, some of them will actually have to go here first. They'll be doing some training. It's a new site that GTCC plans to build as it ramps up its aviation program. The school has prepared students for jobs in aviation for years. Today's excitement only makes those efforts more important. They'll break ground this summer on the new site. The goal is to open it in 2 years. The school has had the training facility in the works for years. Leaders say they're always talking about ways to keep students ready for the needs of the workforce.
So the whole idea is when they come in and they start to say, these are our manufacturing processes, this is where we need training. That's when we get with them, our faculty, and we start to say, okay, this is what a curriculum would look like. Whether it's a short-term program, an associate degree, we work and we develop that hand in glove with them. So it's very close.
Guilford Tech says it's already in talks with JetZero so they can grow together. The company has a chance to shake up the aviation industry. JetZero plans to build a fuel-efficient jet, cutting fuel usage in half. The International Air Transport Association says fuel and oil are the biggest expenses for aviation companies, and if JetZero succeeds, that's a big bill getting a lot smaller. To imagine the type of success JetZero could see at PTI, you just have to look elsewhere on the campus. Other aerospace companies have paved the way, like HondaJet. The company constructed its first facility 17 years ago. Now it has 6 huge buildings on its 133-acre campus and employs 1,000 people. Some of the workers have been there since the beginning.
When I started in 2008, there was only 2 facilities, which was headquarters and R&D. And even this half of headquarters didn't exist back then. So it's just been nonstop growth since I've been here.
For the first time, we toured HondaJet's manufacturing facility where it's building jets and preparing for its next bigger aircraft. We will show you inside the future plane, plus hear what the company has planned down the road and how it's creating a workforce pipeline with local schools. It's coming up tomorrow night at 11. Ask anyone associated with today's project, and excited is one of the first words they use. It's not just the news of today, but what the impact could be in 10 or even 20 years. And it's not out of the question to think we might one day talk about our city as pre-JetZero and post. Some changes will come fast and others will burn slowly. Whatever they look like, count on us to bring you each and every one. All right, let's move over to weather now, where the radar is picking up tonight. This live look shows storms sweeping through parts of the Triad. Chances are you will hear some thunder overnight. Tim, Mother Nature made a habit of waking us up when most of us are trying to go to sleep.
And Chad, you're right, a lot of these storms lately have been at nighttime. Couple of calming words here. I'm not expecting any severe weather, meaning damage, not hail, not wind, but you could hear some thunder, you could see some lightning, and certainly hear that pitter-patter of rain as you're trying to get a little shut-eye tonight. Let me show you where the storms are. In fact, right now, to be honest, over the last 30 minutes or so, they've really weakened to mostly rain showers at this point. So let's kind of go county by county here. Start you off in Guilford County. Right now, a little bit of rain. This is pretty light rain, so we can take that. High Point in Jamestown over to Wendover Avenue. Slackening off a little bit toward Greensboro. You have some regular old rain in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County right now. Farther south for Randolph, you have some steady, moderate to heavy rain at times, but not seeing any lightning strikes currently. There's been a lot of lightning earlier up near Hanging Rock. That's also starting to weaken a little bit. It's been a horrible night of weather in Charlotte. They've had flooding going on. In fact, upwards of 5 inches of rain across the urban areas. So for us, we're kind of getting off easy here. We will have some scattered rain and thunder overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, well, luck of the draw again. We have heat, humidity, and scattered storms that'll bubble up. I'm looking at the time frame of late afternoon, you guessed it, until those overnight hours.
Tim, thank you. New at 11, Asheboro police are using a drone to try to find a missing teenager. Police say 14-year-old Sierra Baldwin left her home yesterday and hasn't been seen since. Officers also used dogs in the woods to try tracking her down. If you see her, call 911. New video shows the inside of a house fire in Winston-Salem. Now, it's hard to see exactly what's going on because it's dark and there is a lot of smoke. One person went to the hospital, but the extent of their injuries isn't clear. This fire ignited on Sprague Street this afternoon. The fire department hasn't determined a cause just yet. New tonight, Davidson County Schools addressed a social media post raising concern among parents. Someone posted on Facebook claiming there was some sort of investigation and an incident involving a wrestling coach and a student on a trip. Well, the school district says what the post claims isn't totally accurate. It says it is investigating what happened and it can confirm all students are safe. Lanes of I-40 West are again closed in Kernersville tonight as part of a major road project. DOT is working on moving the westbound lanes next to the eastbound lanes. It's part of efforts to complete the Eastern Beltway, a new highway that'll wrap around Winston-Salem. DOT says it'll wrap up work in time for the morning commute, but you should expect a traffic shift tomorrow. Cat adoptions resume tomorrow at the Guilford County Animal Shelter. The shelter paused all adoptions last week after several cats tested positive for a contagious virus. Adoptions pick back up with a discount. Cat adoptions dropped from $75 to just $25. One of the fastest growing sports in the world returns to Greensboro next week. The World Ninja Games are back at the Coliseum Complex. It's an obstacle course competition that attracts thousands of athletes from around the globe. Leaders expect the event to generate $5 million for the local economy. A major move in the Middle East could reverberate throughout the world. What we know about an attack on Iran and reaction from U.S. leaders. Plus, a big new development in the conflict over California. What a judge ruled tonight and why the National Guard might have to pull back. Next.